Welcome back to the first Chalford Guide cupboard. This afternoon we are going to make woggles. They are in envelope 4, if you've received envelope 4, and if you've not, you would need to get a piece of leather, or you could use a piece of plastic, really heavy cotton, part of a washing up bottle, anything at all. It needs to be about 10 centimetres long by 4 centimetres wide, with 3 eagle strips cut out of it, with a little uncut piece at either end. Alright? Excellent. This is simultaneously the hardest and the easiest activity we've given you since you joined us here in the Chalford Guides cupboard. You need to start out by labelling each of the strands 1, 2 and 3. I've done them right at the top where you won't see it when it's a proper woggle. You then post the bottom end of it, the tail, between numbers 1 and 2 you hold together, and 3, and you just let it pull it right through. There you go, and you'll get a little bit of a twist in the leather that you can mostly ignore for the time being. You then plait as normal, so you put 1 over 2 and under 3, and then you put 2 over 3. You have to jiggle it a bit and make that plait quite tight, and then under 1. Okay? You've then got to get this bit back the way it came, which is actually quite tricky. And if you do, it magically makes itself into a braid. However, if you don't, you will have found a million ways of getting in a very cross little knot like I did. What you might find is some of your strands come over the wrong way up, with the reverse side showing. You may decide that's quite a nice feature and you leave it like that. But actually, if you just very gently untwist it, it'll stick perfectly like that. Kind of like a guiding magic trick. But that's only the first bit. The next bit is all about threading it together so it holds into a woggle to hold your neckerchief with. Now again, if you're first Chalford Guide, you will find in the tail and the top of your woggle there are these little round bobbles of leather. These are where I've punched the leather with a proper leather punch to make the holes to put the thread through. If you are not first Chalford Guide, you will need to acquire some leather or a bradawl and a hammer to make the hole. Now, because there are loads of you, I have not finished the job fully. I've given you a bit to do to help make it up. Next up, you need to get your thread. Now, I provided everybody with some waxed cotton cord, although leather cord will be fine. Actually, pipe cleaners would do this job quite adequately. The cord is about 30 centimetres, maybe a little bit more long. You turn your woggle round so it forms a loop, and you end up with the 4 holes sat like that in a set of 4. You then take your string and you thread it up from behind, thread it through one side of the woggle. This is a bit fiddly, I apologise that you can't see this very well. Thread it most of the way through, hold it with that finger, and then you get the opposite one of those 4 holes and you thread it through there, like so. Now, do that at least twice, okay? You then go over round the back, so you go on the inside of your woggle, you go to the next in those 4 holes, thread through it, go into the lower. You're going to need to pull both things quite tight so that you end up with the leather just meeting along the back like so. You'll want to turn the woggle inside out for the next bit, or at least part of it inside out, wherein you get the 2 ends of the strands on the inside and you tie them quite tightly in a reef knot. I would use a reef knot because it will sit flat and so it won't take up lots of space. It's on your woggle. Trim the ends, push it back the right way out, and there is the very basic form of your woggle. Now, first Chalford, if you are with us, you will find that there is also a little stud in your envelope to help make these more secure. These are like this one. This one is a star, although a lot of them are square, and it has 5 very sharp pointy spikes, so do be careful with them. You then position your stud over the 2 sides, so make sure it's on both sides and the spikes are on both sides, and you ease those spikes into the leather. This is going to take a minute's fiddling to get each one through, but they will eventually, like that one has there, punch through the leather and come out on the other side. They're a bit spiky, so do be careful, the clue is in the name. And sometimes they'll get bent. Now be careful if they get bent, because they are quite fragile and they'll break. There's another one through. Now on the wrong side, on the inside of there, you'll see these little metal, you will see, there you go, that's one, those little metal spikes come through. And you can just bend them over. You can use proper pliers, but they will just bend through with fingers if you're careful. And what that does, there's another one, is it holds your woggle together a little bit more steadily, like that one does and like the white one does on there. These are actually the back of your woggles, but they are pretty smart. So get your neck nicely tightly rolled and try them on.